Brian, what you gonna read to me tonight?
Well, this is something different from last week. We're going to start with a few little things from Jane Austen, then John Betjeman, and then some very naughty, dirty bawdy.
Oh.
Jane Austen, universally admired for her pristine, elegant prose, is sometimes forgotten that she is capable of very acerbic remarks. And here are a few of them from her novels.
Sorry, very what?
Acerbic remarks. Critical.
Okay.
Here's one. Only think of Mrs. Holder being dead. Poor woman. She's done the only thing in the world she could possibly do to make one cease to abuse her. And here's another one from Jane Austen. Miss P is something of a failure in every way, except in intrinsic goodness. But she was terrified here, and at all times dull, and nearly as ugly as is lawful. A couple more. It is very worthwhile to be tormented for 2 or 3 years of one's life for the sake of being able to read all the rest of it. A woman especially, if she have the misfortune of knowing anything, should conceal it as well as she can. And the last thing about a woman. No one can think more highly of the understanding of women than I do. In my opinion, nature has given them so much that they never find it necessary to use more than half. And then I want to do a little bit of John Betjeman. Who, when I was a very young man, I knew.
Okay.
As a wonderful writer of middle class.
What do you mean you knew you met him? What do you mean that?
Oh, I went to see him at his house. He lived in so the market, Smithson Market, Smithson. That's not quite what it was called, but anyway, he was a very decent man. But he wrote about middle-class morality. And this is one called How to Get On in Society.
Mm-hmm.
It uses all the wrong words. Because okay. This is somebody trying to show off that she knows the right words. Phone for the fish knives, Norman. As cook is a little unnerved. You kiddies have crumpled the serviettes and I must have things daintily served. Are the requisites all in the toilet? The frills round the cutlets can wait till the girl has replenished the cruets and switched on the logs in the grate. Oh, it's ever so close in the lounge, dear, but the vestibule's comfy for tea. And Howard is out riding on horseback, so do come and take some with me. Now here is a fork for your pastries, and do use the couch for your feet. I know what I wanted to ask you. Is trifle sufficient for sweet? Milk, and then just as it comes, dear. I'm afraid the preserve's full of stones. Beg pardon, I'm soiling my doilies with afternoon tea cakes and scones. This one is similar. No, this one is entirely different and very touching. It's called A Child Ill.
Child ill.
Ill.
All right.
O little body, do not die. the soul looks out through wide blue eyes so questioningly into mine that my tormented soul replies, "O little body, do not die. You hold the soul that talks to me, although our conversation be as wordless as the windy sky." So looked my father at the last right in my soul before he died, though words we spoke went heedless past as London traffic roar outside. And now the same blue eyes I see look through me from a little son, so questioning, so searchingly, that youthfulness and age are one. My father looked at me and died before my soul made full reply. Lord, leave this other light a light. O little body, do not die. Betjeman was a poet of many different moods. This is one called Christmas, and I'll just do the last three stanzas of it, about the meaning of it, Christmas. And is it true? And is it true, this most tremendous tale of all, seen in the stained glass window's hue, a baby in an ox's stall? The maker of the stars and sea become a child on earth for me? And is it true? For if it is, no loving fingers tying strings around those tissued fripperies, the sweet and silly Christmas things, bath salts and inexpensive scent and hideous tie so kindly meant. No love that in a family dwells, no caroling in frosty air, nor all the steeple-shaking bells can with this single truth compare, that God was man in Palestine and lives today in bread and wine. And the last one of Betjeman is, again, a send-up of English ways. It's called In Westminster Abbey. And it's a posh lady. Let me take this other glove off as the vox humana swells, and the beauteous fields of Eden bask beneath the abbey bells, here where England's statesmen lie. Listen to a lady's cry. Gracious Lord, oh, bomb the Germans. Spare their women for thy sake, and if that is not too easy, we will pardon thy mistake. But, gracious Lord, whate'er shall be, don't let anyone bomb me. Keep our empire undismembered, guide our forces by thy hand, gallant blacks from far Jamaica, Honduras and Togoland, protect them, Lord, in all their fights, and even more, protect the whites. Think of what our nation stands for. Books and boots and country lanes, free speech, free passes, class distinction, democracy and proper drains. Lord, put beneath thy special care 189 Cadogan Square. Although, dear Lord, I am a sinner, I have done no major crime. Now I'll come to evening service whensoever I have the time. So, Lord, reserve for me a crown, and do not let my shares go down. I will labour for thy kingdom, help our lads to win the war, send white feathers to the cowards, join the women's army corps, then wash the steps around thy throne in the eternal safety zone. Now I feel a little better. What a treat to hear thy word, where the bones of leading statesmen have so often been interred. Now, dear Lord, I cannot wait because I have a luncheon date. Then there were some very naughty ones. Very simple, really. The first is called Diamond Lily. It's an old Cockney song. Oh, my name is Diamond Lily. I'm a whore in Piccadilly. And my father runs a brothel in the Strand. My brother sells his arsehole to the guards at Windsor Castle. We're the finest fucking family in the land. And there's one or two that I remember from being very young. There was a young lady called Gloria.
Gloria, okay.
Who was fucked by Sir Gerald de Moria. Jack Hilton, Jack Payne, Sir Gerald again, and the band of the Brixton Astoria. And the last of the bawdy ones is incredibly simple. I sometimes think that I should like to be the saddle of a bike. And then this is not bawdy, there's just to finish with, a spot of wisdom from a most unlikely source, Dorothy L. Sayers. As I grow older and older, and totter towards the tomb, I find I care less and less who goes to bed with whom. See you next week.